Hi, everyone. I am Donna Reed, and this is Donna Reed Talks Voice. And if you've been following this season, you know we're working with Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
And we've been dealing with the problem of the chest voice being a little bit weak and sometimes being there and sometimes not being there. So, what's been happening this week with your voice? What have you noticed, Rebecca?
I've noticed that when I was very mindful about the way I speak, that I'm not like speaking too loud and too fast and everything, that this made some kind of difference actually. I felt like my voice was a lot more relaxed, like at the end of the day. And I really, really liked the exercise that we did that was like 1.5 octaves. I felt like this was a good one.
Good, 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 good. So that's a really good point that I'm going to emphasize for our listeners out there. That if you're doing something with your speaking voice that is maybe not as efficient as it could be, it's definitely going to have an effect on your singing voice. So being mindful of that, that's really wonderful, especially for all of you out there who are teachers like Rebecca or who have to speak in front of a group and be a little louder, or even if it's just a one-on-one teaching situation where you do have to speak a lot. Let's say you work in an office and it's a meeting and you have to speak a lot. Just be mindful of what is your speaking voice doing and how is that affecting your singing voice in a negative or positive way. Wonderful. So I'll tell you what, what we haven't done in the last several lessons, because we got right to the exercises, haven't had you exhale and inhale. So let's take some air. So let have you exhale, inhale, because it's always good to get the air going. As I've said many times in the lessons here on my YouTube channel, keep going. I almost always start that way. But then I was getting so excited about just getting right into it and let's see what we can do with this. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Um, Now, have you been singing today or speaking a lot today? Because I
No.
know it's later there for you. No,
Yeah.
so not an awful lot, right?
No.
Okay, so then I'm going to start with the head voice. Let's do this with an F and an ooh. No, you know what? Let's bring it all the way down. So foo, 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 foo.
Foo, foo, foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, foo, foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo.
Good. See, I really like that. Obviously, it's very heady, but very free on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Foo, 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 full.
Foo, 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 foo.
Yeah.
Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, foo, foo. Foo, 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 foo.
Okay. Now, the last one was a G. So I really like the A flat. And last week, if I recall, the A flat was a little sketchy.
Yep.
But the A flat with this heady ooh and this kind of little less heady, but still heady O, the A flat was really solid. And then the G, not bad at all. All right, next step. Foo, foo, foo. Foo, 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 faw. AWR.
Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo. Foo, 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 foo.
Okay. Now, even though that didn't vibrate, it didn't shut down on the bottom.
No, it didn't. It just didn't feel as heady as the other ones. It felt like it was something
Starting to
else.
be a little bit more chesty, right? Which is a good thing. Now, let's do the more open ah. Obviously, I went incrementally from ooh, oh, ah. Now we're going to do the ah. Foo, 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 fa. A little bit more of an ah. Let's see what happens.
Foo, 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 fa. Foo, 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 fa. Foo, 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 fa. Foo, 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 fa.
Now, do those still feel on the heady side or they start to feel a little chestier?
They start to feel a tiny bit chesty.
Now, they still don't feel like they're shutting down, right?
No.
Great. Now do the same thing without the F, ooh, ah, and let's see if the same thing happens.
Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah.
Yeah,
Ooh, ah.
yeah, good.
Ooh, ah.
Okay, we got down to the F sharp. And
Yeah,
that's,
that it works sometimes this week, so I'm so happy that it's working today.
yeah, that's great, that's great. So again, to show our listeners, this is not something that's going to, overnight, just all of a sudden be fixed, but little by little by little, as you're seeing through the sequence of these lessons, little by little by little, it's a little freer, little freer, little freer, little freer. And definitely this week, everything you've been doing has helped it to become even a little more free. That's really good. I'm very happy with that. Let's do our staccato ooh up here. And remember what we discovered about that has to be a little bit more glottal than you think, right?
Yeah.
Let's do it 3 times ooh.
Oh no, 3 times. That was
You
just
know what? Whatever works for you. 3 or 2. Sometimes I tell people 2 because I don't want them to run out of breath. The normal thing that people do is 3, so the kind of habit is the 3. Whatever works for you.
all right.
And how are all those feeling?
They're feeling quite good. I feel like they are starting to get a little bit tight.
I heard that a little bit on the top one.
Yeah.
So let's see. I'm going to go back down here just to check it all out to see if our ears are correct and if your feeling is correct. Go back to the ooh ah and just see how what we just did affects that.
Ooh, ah. Ooh, ah.
Okay.
Ooh, ah.
All right. We still got down to the F sharp. So we still did A flat, G, F sharp. So even though that didn't quite feel as free up there, and I also heard the same thing, we didn't do it enough to affect the bottom notes. All right, so let's free up this guy up here. Let me see. I want to try this. Do the same staccato thing, but do it on an E vowel. E, E, E. Not sure. How do those feel?
Weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I am perplexed. I'm not
Me
sure.
too.
I don't think they're shutting down,
No, but they
but
don't feel like they normally feel. It's, I don't know.
right.
I can't
Let's
grab them, but they are just like, I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Let's keep going with it and see where it heads, okay?
Yeah.
See, I don't hear that it's shutting down either. It doesn't feel tight, right?
No.
All right. And you let me know if it does feel like it's grabbing a little bit. Huh.
That's
One
getting
more.
like a tiny bit tighter, but weirdly, when I'm going down, like the last three notes or something, they feel like
Okay,
they.
take a little more air.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh gosh, can I hear this the notes again?
Yeah, I went a half step higher. Third one was best, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, ah. Let's see what happened.
Ooh, ooh,
Hmm.
ooh,
Huh.
ooh,
All right, I tried to go as low as the F. Now,
Crazy.
how did those bottom ones feel compared to the other ones?
They felt chestier.
That's what I thought. That's why I
Yeah.
went, huh,
More
because
disconnected to the rest.
yeah, it was a little bit of a different kind of a chest voice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what perplexed me down there. I thought, huh, yeah, that still sounds okay, but it's a different kind of a chest voice. Still feeling free, right?
Yeah.
And a little chestier. So those E's up there, now you see how you discover things so fascinating. Let's try the E this way. And remember to take plenty of air.
Hmm.
E staccato, just let it do its thing, and because we don't know what it's going to do. That's it. Easy breath. Good. Now, you know what's interesting? Now, and those don't feel tight, right?
No, they just feel weird.
Weird. Yeah. Weird is almost always good. Usually, when I have a student say, that's weird, and it doesn't feel tight, that's always going in a good direction. Now, what's very interesting about these, as our listeners will hear, they're a little bit on the breathy side. Now, normally we don't want something on the breathy side, but in this particular case, again, listening functionally, I think that the breathiness is actually allowing the vocal cords to not have a grab to them. Now, not that does not mean to say that if you sing breathily, then your vocal cords won't grab, because many times breathy is not a good idea because then something else is not actually correct and all of that. But in this case, because as you went higher and the larynx would go up in the past, the breathiness to me is indicating that, well, the larynx isn't going up, and stretching the vocal cords up this way, but they're not quite efficient to come together. But at least the larynx is not going up.
Yeah.
Now, a little story about myself, because my problem when I came to my late husband was that my larynx went up when I sang the high notes. It just went up. I sang my whole career that way. It was that kind of constriction. I could sing through it because we sing through it. But I remember very distinctly when the larynx wouldn't go up as much, and when I would do the high notes, they would be more breathy than they ever were, because my voice was always very clear. I never had a problem with breathiness, but the larynx would go up, so it would be a little tight. But when the larynx started to be more settled, it would be breathy, and I could feel that it was easier and better. It disturbed me that it was breathy, but then Cornelia said, no, 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 don't worry about that. Just don't even think about that. It was definitely a freer sound. So again, one of the advantages that I have as a teacher is because my voice was not working and because Cornelius took my voice apart and because he put it back together again, I have these insights because I've been through all of this. I've been through all of these phases. Now, I didn't go through exactly what you're going through in that. I always had the low notes, but still working with people over the years, and because I know mechanically what's going on, I have an insight with these things, and that's why everybody's such an individual. Now, especially after having you rest like that, which is a good idea, I'm going to go back to our ooh, 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 ah, and we'll see what those E's up there did, and see what the chest voice is doing on the bottom.
Ooh, ooh,
Brilliant.
ooh,
Yeah.
ooh,
Now that's great. We got down to the F again.
Crazy.
And you notice how all of these today, the A flat and lower, they don't have that, except for that little bit on the F, they don't have that same vocal fry thing.
Yeah.
So we're getting it clearer and clearer. We're getting the vocal cords to really start to come together. Now let's see what happens. Can you start? No, I'm going to do it like this. Go back to the ooh, ah, then stop, and then repeat the ah. And remember to repeat the ah. No, I'm not going to say anything. I was going to give you a suggestion, and then
I have something in my mind from
but that's okay. No, no, no. Some little voice inside of me said, don't give a suggestion. Just let her do it. See what happens. So, ooh, ah, and then stop, and then repeat the ah.
ooh,
Okay, now, a little more difficult to do it right out of the air, right? Now,
yeah.
what did you notice when you stopped and then you repeated it? Did you take a breath? Did you use more air? What did you notice?
I noticed that like the first note when I was stopping it, it was already like getting headier, like lighter somehow.
Okay.
So it was difficult. I wanted to try to start like with the same feeling I had from the first ah with the second
Uh-huh.
ah, but because it was like changing whilst I was like ending the note, I couldn't grasp the same feeling. So
Okay, great. Great, great, great. All right. I'm glad you explained that. That's excellent. Do it again. No matter what that bottom note does, and it may do the same thing. It may not quite settle. It may not know where it's going. Stop, repeat the note. Don't aim for the same feeling. Just hear the pitch
okay.
because I don't know what it's going to do. Don't try to put it in the same place or do the same thing. Just stop the sound and sing the same pitch and be surprised.
Ooh,
Yeah. So again, that you just really proved my point about quote unquote placement and about how the note feels. when you aim for the same feeling, sometimes it can do exactly what it just did. I don't know what that feeling is. I don't know where to, I think I'm supposed to put it there, but I don't know. Now, obviously, you have a kinetic sense of what is going on. Kinesthetic, that's the word, sense of what is going on. But if you just hear the pitch and you let that come out, and you hear more or less the quality that you want, your muscles will figure it out for you. Now, can you do that all by itself after we've not done anything?
Uh,
Great.
uh,
All right, now that's F sharp, and I don't mind that that's a little funny like that. It was easier when we came from the top, which it always, almost always will be, but I don't mind that at all because you got these guys right out of the air. Now, forget about all of that. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Don't worry about head voice, chest voice, or anything. Hear the pitches on the ah, and come back down. Maybe there was a little lag in the audio because what I played was this.
all right.
Now, how do all of those feel?
All of them feel free. The last like two or three, they got more breathy on the top, but they were free, so I tried to just leave them like that.
Leave them alone, yes. And I did notice that they were a little on the breathy side, but again, still free. Now,
Yeah.
what happens if you do this? Add the ya, 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 and then come back down. Less breathy, and you were able to move the tongue very easily, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Good. Well, I know what we're going to do. Same thing here. Good. You hear that top note?
Mhm.
You hear the sound, right? Start with that ah, do ah, ya, 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 and then go up there, and then come down 2 octaves. Now, did you run out of breath on the bottom, or how did you?
My head was just trying to figure out what I had to sing. That was just like.
Okay, fine. Now, that aside, how did the bottom note feel?
It felt free. It was just I was irritated that it was going that low.
Yeah, that's okay. Now, you notice it wasn't as chesty as what we had earlier. It was a
Yeah.
little bit more on the heady side. That's the A flat again. But you're right, it was free. And because we did all of this up here and you came back down here, maybe it doesn't want to be as chesty. Maybe it wants to be a little bit on that headier side. Really good. We're going to do this. Go back to the ah, ya, 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 ya. And you know what? Just stop on the top. Good. You're going to start with that. Ah, ya, 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 ya. And then down those 2 octaves again. Just see where it goes. Okay. Now I don't mind that. Again, it was a little, it cut off a little bit and it didn't quite have a vibrato or anything like that. But that didn't shut down, did it?
No.
And that was the G. Really good. Let's try the F sharp. Same idea. So let's do ah yeah 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 yeah. Oh, sorry. I totally played the wrong note. My bad. Good. That's the one you're going to start, and that'll lead us to the F sharp, and then down 2 octaves. Okay. Now, when you first got down there, I like that. That was good. That was good. That was good. Now, how does all of that feel?
All felt free. It was like I felt a little bit more of a like falling into a chestier quality on the
Yeah.
last notes than with the G and the A flat, but
Yes.
everything was easy and free.
Excellent. Yeah, and that's what I heard, that as low as that F sharp, it's going to be a lot less heady than the G and the A flat,
Yeah.
and I could hear it falls into a chestier quality. When we can get the A flat and the G a little bit more in that chestier quality, that's even better. But the fact that we got down to those guys and they were free, that's amazing. So good, good, good. Little by little, we're working through it.
Yeah.
Hey, so thank you so much. Just keep doing what you're doing during the week, being aware of things. You could, we didn't use a lot of the yas today because we went into a different direction. But during the week, you can certainly do that. As you said, that doing, what was it, the octave in the third or something, or the
Yeah.
octave in the fifth, or over the week you were
Octave and
doing the
fifth, yeah.
yas. So beautiful. Play around with things like that and keep being aware of your speaking voice, which is wonderful. And we'll just keep going from there.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching Donna Reed Talks Voice. If you have any questions for me about this episode, or if you'd like to join me on a future episode, please visit donnareedtv.com and click Contact.